Have you ever wondered how the most important blueprints in aviation history just disappeared? In 1903, the Wright brothers changed the world. Their invention, the first powered, controlled, and sustained flight, marked the birth of modern aviation. But what if I told you that the original blueprints for their revolutionary airplane are missing? Not lost in time, not destroyed in war, just gone. This isn't just a story about flight. This is a story about mystery, legacy, and perhaps cover-up. Let's dive into the enigma of the missing Wright brothers' plane blueprints. It all began in the small town of Dayton, Ohio. Wilbur and Orville Wright, two self-taught inventors and bicycle mechanics, were obsessed with the dream of flight. They pored over scientific journals, observed birds in flight, and tested hundreds of designs. In December 1903, their hard work paid off. The Wright Flyer lifted off the sand dunes of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and stayed in the air for 12 seconds. That moment, short as it was, changed human history forever. But behind that triumph lay years of meticulous engineering. The Wright brothers recorded every detail of their invention: dimensions, materials, wing angles, control systems, all in carefully drafted blueprints. These documents weren't just drawings, they were the very foundation of powered flight. So how is it that such priceless records simply vanished? Here's what we know. After their success, the Wright brothers became protective of their design. Competition in early aviation was fierce. They feared theft of their intellectual property, especially from European rivals. In fact, they were involved in several patent disputes, including a heated battle with Glenn Curtiss, another American aviation pioneer. Some believe that their secrecy during this time might have contributed to the disappearance of key documents. But that's just one theory. According to historical records, the original 1903 Wright Flyer blueprints were once stored in the Smithsonian Institution. But during the mid-20th century, something strange happened. When researchers and historians sought access to these crucial documents, they were told the originals couldn't be found. The Library of Congress, the National Archives, even the Wright family themselves, none had a complete original set of the 1903 plane's blueprints. The National Air and Space Museum, which now houses the restored Wright Flyer, also confirmed that the primary blueprints were never located in their collections. All we have are partial copies, reconstructions, and descriptions. So where did they go? Some believe the blueprints were lost during a bureaucratic shuffle, moved from one institution to another and misplaced in the process. Others suggest they may have been deliberately removed to protect the Wright brothers' legacy, or perhaps hidden away during wartime for national security reasons. Then there's the darker theory: espionage. In the early 20th century, as the world edged toward World War I, countries were desperate for air superiority. The United States had something others didn't: flight. Some speculate that rival nations or even early American defense agencies might have taken or copied the plans in secret. Could the blueprints have been stolen under the guise of national interest, or was it simple carelessness? Interestingly, the Wright brothers were known to be obsessive record keepers. Their diaries, letters, and photographs were all preserved in great detail. It's, hard to imagine that such disciplined inventors would just misplace the most valuable documents of their lives. In 1948, Orville Wright passed away, the last surviving brother. After his death, many of his personal effects, papers, and notes were donated to institutions. But no original blueprints turned up. Not then, not ever. Even today, aviation historians still search for clues. Some have combed through old trunks in family estates, scoured military archives, and even checked obscure museum basements. Nothing. It's as if the blueprints were erased from history. Yet, the mystery deepens. In 1987, a document surfaced, purported to be a copy of the 1903 Wright Flyer blueprint. It was incomplete and unsigned. Experts debated its authenticity. Was it a genuine reproduction, or a forgery made to fill a gap that had long puzzled historians? The debate remains unresolved, and so, we are left with fragments of a once-complete puzzle. The missing blueprints aren't just an academic concern. Without them, our understanding of how the Wright brothers achieved flight is based on reconstructions and second-hand information. What if there were design secrets or engineering techniques lost with those papers? What if the true genius of the Wright flyer, some subtle aerodynamic principle or mechanical innovation, was never fully recorded elsewhere? Think about it. We have more information about ancient Roman aqueducts than we do about the very first powered aircraft. It's almost unbelievable. But maybe that's the point. Maybe this mystery reminds us how fragile history can be, that even the most world-changing inventions can slip through the cracks if we're not vigilant. And yet, hope remains. Collectors, archivists, and passionate aviation enthusiasts still hold out hope that one day, the blueprints will surface. Perhaps hidden in an attic, locked in an old government file, or forgotten in a dusty box mislabeled and abandoned. Until then, the first airplane may forever remain partially cloaked in mystery. One question echoes through the pages of history. How could we let the blueprints of the first flight vanish into thin air? This is the enigma of the missing Wright brothers' plane blueprints, and it remains unsolved.